Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we have a very special video. We have comparing two of my favorite franchises, comparing two characters that I feel are underrated in both franchises. We have Zabuza from the Naruto series versus Vega from the Street Fighter series. Now, I noticed I have to start these videos like this every time because, Street Fighter fans just don't seem to know how to listen or read, but I will be talking about the Udon comics. Yes, I know they are not canon, so we're talking about the Udon version of Vega. Feats from other forms of media will be talked about if they do not contradict with the source material, with the canon series. That's how we're kind of going to go off of feats for Vega moving forward. As for Zabuza, we're just going to be talking about the Land of Waves arc. I mean, we'll touch on the war here and there, but I don't think it's too relevant. So, without wasting anybody's time, we're just going to jump straight into it. So, I want to touch on speed for Zabuza. I think that's going to be an important point, obviously. The first thing we can clearly say, I don't think this is a controversial take, is that he scales obviously above the Sound Ninja from the Forest of Death arc. Yes, Naruto and Sasuke did get stronger since then, but, to say that Naruto and Sasuke speed-wise scale to Zabuza at all is disingenuous. Zabuza is way faster than them, and so I don't think it's that crazy to say that he moves faster than the speed of sound. Especially since obviously he scales to Kakashi. Kakashi, being a stronger version of Kakashi than the one Guy had stated, was able to run up and cut a lightning bolt. That would make him a lightning timer. Kakashi is actually, aside from like Minato, the Raikage, and really top dogs, he's probably one of the fastest ninja in the series. And Zabuza is able to blitz Kakashi as seen in their first encounter. He blitzes him and puts him in the water prison. When it comes to Vega's speed, the thing we're going to touch up on is, well, he's able to react to Kami, who is able to casually dodge gunfire, point blank range, multiple assault rifles being fired at her, and Vega is able to casually dodge her attacks, also point blank range. The other obvious stuff, it's him being able to react to characters like Blanca and characters like Ken, who are lightning speed. Now, although Vega is not as strong as Ken, he's still able to do fairly decent against him. Obviously, I don't think he scales to Ken at full power, but it's still pretty impressive. The next piece to talk about is, of course, their powers. So starting with Zabuza, obviously, he's able to cut trees with his sword. He throws his blade and it stabs right into the side of the tree. He uses Water Dragon, which, is able to damage somebody like Kakashi. Kakashi, who doesn't quite scale to the Sannin, he scales to Kabuto, who Kabuto himself has been hit by Tsunade. The Sannin kind of scale to Biju level. I'm not going to say that the Sannin are necessarily, going to pull, like, continental attacks, but they're close to it. I don't know if the Sannin can dish out the same amount of damage, but if you think Tsunade did not get any stronger throughout the series, then I would just leave the fact that Tsunade is strong enough to punch a hole in Madara. Yet Kabuto was able to take hits from her. So I don't really agree with that. I'm going to kind of debunk that part of it. I think Tsunade did get stronger throughout the show. So Kabuto doesn't really scale to that. The issue with scaling Kakashi to Kabuto is that although they are said to be equals, we don't know what exactly makes them equal. They both have a wide variety of jutsu, and they're both very talented, so it could simply be that maybe Kakashi hits harder than Kabuto, but Kabuto is more durable. It's just hard to say, and Kakashi doesn't really have any feats to scale off of in part 1. But if you do go with a point-blank comparison between Kakashi and Kabuto stat-wise, then you could argue that Kakashi would also be able to take hits from Tsunade, which is incredible, and the fact that Kabuto survived getting hit by the Rasengan. The Rasengan itself, which is an S-class jutsu, it's very, very powerful. This is a jutsu that even Jiraiya uses, Jiraiya being, again, a Sannin. This kind of proves that at least AP-wise, he can take, often, Sannin-level attacks. As far as Vega goes, Vega is able to casually just cut a fucking motorcycle into pieces. And he's again able to damage characters like Ken. Ken, who has fought Ryu, who scales to him, not at his full power, but scales to a base Ryu. Ryu himself, who's able to take damage from Akuma, is able to level islands. You could kind of argue that the strength advantage here goes to Vega. The next thing we got is durability. They're both very durable characters. For one, for Zabuza, he lives not a point blank attack of the Lightning Blade, but he does still take some of the damage. The Lightning Blade, which is able to kill Kakuzu. Kakuzu being an Akatsuki member, he's very powerful. He's one of the more durable members of the team, and even he couldn't survive that attack. And again, this one's more likely if you think Kakashi and Kabuto scale in fists. Kabuto's able to damage Tsunade, another Sannin level character. This is extremely impressive. So the potency of their attacks is really strong. I would probably venture to say also around that island level if you do scale the Sannin to the Bijou. And again, as far as Vega is concerned when it comes to durability, we do have the fact that he's able to take hits from Ken. Ken is able to compete with guys like M. Bison, who have defeated guys like Zangief, Zangief's able to take this building level attack from Ryu at one point, and M. Bison scales above that, and Ken's able to fight that man. So, very good durability feats. In fact, Vega has literally his ribs broken, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's still ready to throw hands. He's smiling. He's able to still move just as fast as he was before. So the guy's tolerance for pain seems very ridiculous. When it comes to the intelligence of the two characters, well, Zabuza obviously is being a pretty good assassin, a pretty good mercenary, a shinobi. He's pretty much, if you kind of bring everyone from Naruto to me and ask me who's kind of the perfect ninja in the series, it's gotta be Kakashi or Zabuza. So Zabuza is very skilled in his own right. When it comes to Vega, he's a very clever fighter. I know it's very tiring to hear Ken keep coming up, but I have to go there. Vega's able to fight people like Chun-Li and Ken. These people are master martial artists. That's what Street Fighter is. Everyone's supposed to be extremely talented or a master of a certain kind of fighting style, and Ken being one of the best in the series, and so is Chun-Li actually when it comes to just hand-to-hand combat. Vega's able to throw down with them. And yes, you could say Vega's using a claw, so it's not the same thing, but again, he'd be using a claw here anyway, so that just means with his claw, he can fight people who are masters at hand-to-hand combat. I have no doubt in my mind, if Vega and Zabuza face head-to-head, sword versus claw, Vega's probably beating the shit out of him if we have no stats, just combat knowledge. Now, both of them are very bloodlusting characters. They're both very brutal. They're not going to hold back. So this is just going to be them beating the shit out of each other. What makes Zabuza a little more dangerous here, though, is the fact that he has access to other avenues such as the Mist Jutsu and the Water Clones. The Water Dragon is difficult because it takes so fucking long for him to get this off. And the Vega being as fast as he is just not going to let it happen. There's no way. But when we get to Water Clones and Mist Jutsu, the thing about Mist is that Vega may also get around this too. Vega is able to smell his opponents. He's kind of like this weird, wild character. Again, that's just assumption, but what really kind of hurts Vega's things like the water prison. Vega has his own hand of abilities. He has ridiculous agility, leaping from walls to one another and shit like that, and he can parry and all that shit. But it's not really the same arsenal that Zabuza has. So, what's my verdict here? My verdict is Zabuza picking up the W. The reason I go for Zabuza is that, well, if you look at the stats here, if we do give Zabuza the benefit of the doubt with Kakashi and Kabuto scaling to one another, and Zabuza actually kind of beating him the first time around when he blitzed him and put him in the water prison, this is actually kind of ridiculous. What makes it so is that even if you give Vega a slight advantage in strength and speed, which you can kind of debate he may or may not have, Vega just lacks the tools that Zabuza does. Vega is a better fighter than Zabuza, I have no doubt about that. But there's really so much you can do once, Zabuza starts fucking introducing ninja magic into it. I do think this is a high difficulty fight, but I do have Zabuza picking up the W. Now, this was a strange video picking up a Naruto vs Street Fighter character, but I had done it before, so I thought I'd do it again. If you guys want to see more matchups between Naruto and Street Fighter characters, or matchup between Street Fighter characters or between Naruto characters, let me know in the comment section below. Or do you want Tekken characters, Dragon Ball characters, any fighting game, really? Let me know down below, and I will consider it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out. Bye.